Hello everybody and welcome back to Gaming on Caffeine. My name is Isaac and we are back playing some FTB Infinity for episode 40. And last episode we set up this guy over here, our big turbine from Big Reactors. I'm going to call them big turbines. I'm not quite sure what they're supposed to be called, but I'm going to call them big turbines. I made our first big turbine, and since last episode, our steam boiler has heated up to max capacity. I figured out that coal blocks, I think, are the most efficient way of doing this, because they have a burn time of 16,000 compared to coal and charcoal, which have a burn time of 1,600. So a block of coal gets 10 times as much as a single piece of coal for only 9 times as much coal. So hopefully that makes sense, and I think these are a little bit more efficient, albeit still very expensive for the amount of steam and coal that we need to power this turbine over here. I also went ahead and filled this guy in over here just because we had a ton of extra turbine housing after my little miscalculation last episode. And also, you'll see I've added a second set of hardened fluid ducts over to our main turbine, and now we are actually up to 900.7 RPM and 5,000 redstone flux per tick, which is kind of insane when you kind of think about it. Now, I haven't actually tested whether or not this second hardened fluid duct is needed. I added it on pretty much after the end of last episode, pretty much straight away. And I'm not quite sure if the fact that it now has enough steam to get to 5,000 is because we added a second line of fluid ducts, or because this is now at 1,000 degrees and is producing more steam. So the first thing I'm going to do is test this. If we just do that, does that get rid of our... Yep, that very quickly gets rid of steam. So it looks, unfortunately, like these hardened fluid ducts, I believe these are the best fluid ducts that you can get in thermodynamics. These are the best fluid ducts. They don't quite carry enough steam to power this thing at 900 RPM, which is a bit of a shame, but if you just add a second set of them, it should be fine. And to be fair, the fact that we got 3 high tall one, we should be able to run at least like three turbines off this thing, because look at this, we've got a ton of steam. We are staying very steady on the amount of steam we have. We're not like at all overusing or underusing in any way. Now, what I want to work on today is something that we are overusing on massively, and that is coal and charcoal, because although we have quite a bit of charcoal right now over here, that is because I've been using coal for quite a while now, and every so often our tree farm stops for a multitude of reasons, and we stop getting charcoal, we stop getting coal because we just run out of coal, and if that happens, then our steam boiler slowly winds down, and because we're now on a server, it can wind down like over the course of a couple of hours, and then when I jump back on the server, it's at 0 degrees, and I've got to wait like a couple of hours again for it to heat back up, which is a bit of a pain. So, what we're going to work on today is getting just a ton of coal, so hopefully this will never run out. Hopefully we will just have too much coming in for that to ever even worry about coal ever again, and maybe even get enough to fully power this guy, maybe by the end of the episode, but maybe at least some point in the future. So the way I'm going to do that is with a wither skeleton skull farm, which, not a skull farm, just a wither skeleton farm, which is basically going to consist of the exact same thing that our villager system has over here. We're going to have an auto spawner that spawns normal skeletons in a safari net, but if we do it in the nether, that's going to cause the normal skeletons to spawn in as wither skeletons. So, and I do need to, someone pointed out in the comment section that I do need to work on this door. Every time I run up to it, I press right click, even though I don't need to, and then when I walk over it, it's just a mess. It's a mess. I don't think we have any skeletons outside, mainly because it's the middle of the day. So, let's do a quick check into our room after we eat a couple of sticks. Do we have any skeletons? We do. I spy a skeleton right over there at the end. I am coming for you. Let's see. Can we get this guy? I'm pretty sure we can. There's quite a few of them, actually. Let's take those. Thank you very much. You are the best. Your cooperation is much appreciated. Your friend's cooperation, not so much. Thank you, and goodbye. Okay, so we've got ourselves a normal skeleton, and if we put this in the nether with a auto spawner, it's going to automatically spawn wither skeletons for the most part. It will spawn the occasional normal skeleton, but most of them will be wither skeletons, and when you kill wither skeletons, you have a chance of getting coal. Now, unfortunately, your chance of getting coal, although it's kind of, actually, your chance of getting coal is kind of high, but you don't get that much coal. So what we're going to do to increase our chances of getting more coal is, instead of using a grinder to kill the wither skeletons, what we're going to do instead is use an auto spawner with a tinker's cleaver in it, which is going to allow us to throw something like lapis on there. And I don't think we have, that's not how you spell lapis at all, we have 142 lapis in there, but I'm fairly certain that we have like another billion over here in our quarry chest. And that we do because for whatever reason, lapis just wasn't... I forgot to put lapis on the filter, so we're not getting lapis through to our AE system. But we should have more than enough here to fill the 450 lapis onto a cleaver, which should mean that we are able to get Fortune 3 onto a cleaver, which should give us a ton of extra stuff from all of the wither skeleton skulls that all of the wither skeletons that we kill. And also the fact that we're using a cleaver instead of like a generic sword means that we have beheading by default, which means we got that extra chance of getting ourselves some wither skeleton skulls, which we could then use in the future to get ourselves more nether stars, which is pretty freaking awesome. So let's get started. The first thing we're gonna need is an autonomous activator. This thing, basically, for those who don't know, allows you to simulate either a left click or a right click with any tools placed within it. And basically what we're going to do is, first of all, make all the stuff to make one. But then we're going to put a sword in it, set it to left click, and it's going to go ahead and kill any mob that stands in front of it. Here we go. We'll take 2 of those. And we'll go ahead and take ourselves a reception coil. And boom. Nice. Autonomous activator. The next thing that we're going to need is a cleaver. Now, I think, if I'm not mistaken, we cannot make a cleaver in the tool station. In fact, we need to make a tool forge before we can make a cleaver. So, let's go ahead and grab one of these. These are basically really expensive tool stations, but they're kind of the next tier up from tool stations. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this guy. Don't really need him anymore once we've got the tool station, because the tool station and the tool forge does everything the tool station does, but the tool station doesn't do everything the tool forge does. So we can go ahead and just replace it with this guy, which is very expensive. It requires 3 seared stone, which is not that bad, as well as 4 blocks of iron, which is pretty pricey, but we've got like 5,000 iron right now, so it's not that big of a deal. Do we have any seared brick? We have 3, which is not really enough, to be fair. So let's see. Do we have what it takes to make some more grout? Actually, do we have any grout? We do not. We are missing blocks of clay. I think we have some clay. That we do. So we should be able to just do something like this and get ourselves enough grout and therefore enough seared stone to actually make this thing possible. That should be more than enough. Alloy smelter, where you at? There you are. Let's go ahead and get some of that. Make myself some more hardened glass. You'll see why a little bit later on in the episode. But most of you will probably be able to guess why I've got that already. This guy is done. That's 3. And that's 6, which I think should be enough. That's going to get us 1 block. We do have 3 in here. Actually, we just need a little bit more. I'm going to wait for this last one. There we go. Okay, that gets us 2 more. Boom, boom. And if we throw those into here, we should get ourselves a tool forge. Nice. So, like I said, we're going to go ahead and throw this down right about here. And if we open it up, you'll see on the left there, we now have a bunch more items that we can go ahead and make. And the one that we're interested in is this guy over here, the cleaver. The cleaver is a heavy defensive weapon. It has powerful strikes, but it's difficult to wield. And it has beheading on it, which is kind of cool. So for this, we're going to need a cleaving blade. I'm assuming that's what it's called. Let's have a look. What's this? Do we have any blank patterns lying around? Let's see. Patterns. We do. We got a ton of blank patterns. I'll take this and this. I don't think we're going to need them because this is a pretty high-end tool. I wouldn't be surprised if it uses the tough rods. It does, so it uses the next tier of rods. So that's not going to be any use. But we could throw those in there. And we can get ourselves a tough rod binding. A creeper face binding, which I think we already have, but we'll get another one anyway. As well as this guy over here, the larger blade pattern. We'll take that guy. And I think that's actually about it. Yeah, that's all we need. So, what we're going to do is now we've got to decide what we're going to make this out of. And I'm thinking that we're going to make it out of obsidian. Now, that might seem like a silly idea. Obsidian is not really the strongest tool in the world, but obsidian is something that we can easily get large amounts of, and bear in mind we are going to have to constantly repair this as time goes on. And actually, now I'm thinking about it, I think what we might do instead is still make it out of obsidian, but put the energy upgrade on so we can just recharge it instead of having to repair it. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll make ourselves a couple of things. We'll throw you in over here. We need a part builder. We'll throw you in there, make an obsidian one. Like so. We'll get ourselves 2 large obsidian tough rods, like so, and we'll get ourselves a obsidian blade. Now, I feel like we should make one of these at least out of paper, but making one out of paper is going to significantly lower the durability, so I think instead we're kind of going to stick with what we've got, and we'll make ourselves, boom, boom, and boom, a cleaver. Nice. All right, so we got ourselves a cleaver. The first thing that I'm going to go ahead and do is, how many modifiers do we have? 3. The first thing I'm going to do is actually get another modifier using a gold block and a diamond. Like so. We could also use a nether star if we wanted to get an extra modifier, but we'll see how we do with just the one. Gold block, diamond, that takes us up to 4 modifiers, and basically what I'm going to do now is grab some lapis. We're going to grab 450 lapis, which I think is about that. Do we have any quartz? We do, but not really enough. So unfortunately, it's not going to have the strongest attack in the world and might actually take a while to kill them. But the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go away because it's going to take a while. And I'm going to actually put all these back. And I'm going to make the blocks of lapis in here. And I'm just going to add blocks and blocks and blocks of lapis to this thing until it has look 3. And is that all our lapis? Okay, that's all of our lapis. Wow. I didn't think we had that little. But I'm going to go ahead and do this over and over and over again until we have 450. I'll be back in a second. And that gets us 450. And now if we go ahead and hold down shift, you can see at the bottom there, just above where it says Tinker's Construct, we have looting 3. So we should get a bunch of extra stuff from all of the mob drops, as opposed to just the default drops, I guess. And the next thing I'm going to add is a leadstone energy cell. This guy over here. This is going to allow us to... Actually, I think depending on which cell you add, depends on how much like energy storage it has. So I'm gonna try. Now this is something that somebody told me. I've always just used the leadstone one. Let me try here. Do we have our crescent hammer lying around? We do. Let me try taking this guy and adding this to it. That's gonna stop our quarry for a little while, but that should be fine. If I add this to this guy, is that gonna do anything? It is not. It might be because it has to be a cell frame. Now that could be a thing. Let's try real quick and make this. Oh, it's a bit of a pain to make, but we do have what it takes, and hopefully we have some redstone. We don't. Do we have some in here? We do. Okay, let's do this. I have no idea if this works, by the way, guys. I am testing this for like the very first time right here, right now. How much do we have in there? 2,200. I think we need 3,000 in order to fill this up. 4,000. Okay, we need even more than I thought. Let's take a bit of that and throw that in there. That should get us that stuff. And I don't think there's really anything else that we need. How many modifiers do we have left now? 2 on our cleaver? 3. We have 3 modifiers remaining. So what I'll do is I'm actually going to go ahead and add another ender pearl and obsidian to give it beheading 2. The only reason I'm doing that is because the more wither skeleton skulls we can get, the better, in my opinion. So we'll take that, and we'll just go boom, boom, grab another beheading on that thing. And then this thing should be more than full enough now. So we'll take that, throw you down there, let it output, and then this, this should be able to fill up fairly quickly. And I think in future episodes, we're definitely going to have to go ahead and speed these machines up, because right now, they are fairly slow, and we can go ahead and add some more augmentation to make this thing pretty fast later on down the line. But for now, this should be good. What else do we need to make the thing? We need a Conductance Coil. I think we should be good for everything else. So we'll take that. We'll throw you in. Well, that's a frame full. Let me try this. No, that doesn't work either. Okay. Okay, well, if that doesn't work, I'm going to just go ahead and try this. We need a coil. I knew we need a coil. Let's take that. Boom. Boom. It might just have to be an empty one. And if not, we'll just go ahead and make a leadstone energy cell. The leadstone energy cell is super easy to make. No, it didn't work. It didn't work. I didn't think it would work, in all fairness. But we'll go ahead and we'll take this guy. Boom. Thank you very much. Does it have to be a cell? Question mark. I've done this like 50 times by now. I should know that, yes, it does have to be a cell. Let's go ahead and throw that back in there. Probably make one more conductance coil, like so. Thankfully, we have quite a bit of electrum. And boom, boom, boom. We're done. Nice. All right, let's throw this on here. And now this thing can be charged up using a redstone flux, which is pretty nice. And we also have one more modifier remaining, which I'll probably use in the future to go ahead. And actually, I think the wireless charger should be charging this up. It is, which is pretty nice. I'm going to throw it in here just to speed things up a little bit. But in the future, I'll probably go ahead and add some quartz to that to make it attack faster if we so need it. But basically, what I'm going to do now, guys, is make myself some conveyor belts, like so. And we'll take a stack. I'm going to take 2 stacks of those because I think we might need quite a few. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the nether and I'm going to set up something exactly like this. But instead of putting villagers in the auto spawner, I'm going to put wither skeleton skulls. So I'm going to do that, guys. I'll be back in a second. And a little while later, we have ourselves a somewhat ugly cobblestone 9x9 filled with conveyor belts and an auto spawner. Now, what we need to do is actually set some stuff up. So the first thing I'm going to do is try, while being pushed by these conveyor belts, to set down this autonomous activator. Something like this. And it caused it doesn't face down the right way. Let's see. There we go. Beautiful. Let's see if we can fly up. And then we're going to have to head back so we can actually go and grab a couple of things. Actually, that's fine. And then we're going to need, the first thing we're going to need is, of course, a Tesseract to bring some power from the overworld into our little nether setup that we have here. That's why I made the hardened glass earlier, for those who are wondering. Super easy to make because I'm pretty sure we have, like, almost everything we need right now to make a Tesseract. Let's see. Boom. Done. We do need to use this guy over here for some more ender pearls, which is a bit of a shame, but that's fine. If we do this, fill you up. I think we have a spare tank in here that has some resident ender in it, and that we do. We'll get rid of you. Throw that back down there. Let's grab some ender pearls, like so. And we should, that should be more than enough to do what we need to do. We do need to empty this out, and to empty that out, the easiest thing to do is just to pick it up and then throw it right back down like so. Boom. And we can throw that in there. And then pretty much just wait for this to get enough resident ender in it. Is it 1,000 millibuckets? It is 1,000 millibuckets. Okay, good stuff. We'll just take that. We'll throw you there. We'll right-click to empty. And that should be good. Okay, that's filling up there. The next thing I'm going to make is an ender tank. This guy over here that we have made before. But this time we're going to use it to move mob essence from one side to another. And we are, in fact, going to need one more cauldron, which is actually fairly easy to make. We'll take both of those, like so. And we are going to need some form of different colored dye in order to differentiate it from the lapis one that we have. Not the lapis one, the lava one we had. I was thinking lapis because I'm about to use lapis. So let's have a look here. Can I do something like this? Because you can, basically these work just like ender chests do, but for liquids. So for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this, can I put it like here? I can. And then if I right-click this with the lapis on the top, we're going to make that very leftmost notch lapis. That should go ahead and kind of empty itself out. The lava's emptying, and now it's filling it with mob essence. Nice. Okay, and the next one should do the same thing. We'll kind of throw it down, fill it up with, well, actually, we have to do this for this one. And there we go. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that works. We'll go ahead and pick you up. And that should now transfer mob essence from here in the overworld to our auto spawner in the other dimension. We're also going to need some fluiducts to move. Actually, we're going to need fluiducts? I don't... Yeah, I'll make some fluiducts. I'm gonna make some fluiducts. And because of the way I'm gonna set it up, I'm actually gonna use these fluid conduits, and I'm also gonna use the power conduits, the energy conduits from Ender.io as well. Hopefully, I'm not quite sure if 8 will be enough, so we don't have enough to make some other stuff. I'm gonna hope that 8 will be enough. It might not be, but I think it should be. And the final thing that we're gonna need before we head out here is the vacuum hopper, which I don't think we've actually made so far this series. This is basically an item that's going to pull other items towards it, and we're going to use this because the autonomous activator doesn't automatically pick stuff up and spit it out like the grinder does, so instead we're going to have something else that picks it up and sends it through the Tesseract back to the overworld. Did we leave the cleaver in here? Where did I put my cleaver? The answer to that question is in the power bank. There it is. Okay, good stuff. Let's take this, and let's see what we can set up. Come on now. Oh, look, it doesn't open. There we go. It doesn't open with the pressure plate, and then when I go right-click it, it closes again. Ah, jeez. All right, we should have everything we need now, though. We should be good to go. You didn't get the Tesseract, Isaac. Okay, so once we've got a full Tesseract, now we can go to the Nether and actually start setting this thing up. Don't get hit by the creeper. There we go. Beautiful. We should really stick something behind here so we can kind of just run into it without fear of falling all the way through. It's just a laziness thing at that point, but we should now be able to set this up. So, I'm thinking of putting the... Is this going to be... Okay, yeah, that's not what I want to do. I'm thinking about putting the Tesseract directly below the autonomous activator here, but I'm kind of thinking, is that going to be a good idea? Because are we going to have enough conduits? Why am I... I don't even know what I'm doing here. All right, the conduits are going there. That's where the conduits need to be going. Then we're going to right-click on that, set it to extract without a redstone signal. So that's going to start to fill that up with stuff there. Then I'm going to go ahead and move this down by 1. And the reason I'm going to move it down by 1 is so that we can go ahead and put both fluid conduits and the energy conduits in this one spot here. So we'll go ahead and turn that to extract. We'll set that to ignore redstone signal. We'll right-click on the top here, which should allow it to pass through. There we go. And then we'll just go ahead and throw some conduits in like this. Boom. and boom. So that's getting both power and fluid, as long as we connect this up to some form of power source, which I'm going to put right about, I think, yeah, I'm going to put it right about there. Boom. I'm going to hook it up to Isaac's power, like so. That should start to power this guy, which it hasn't. Do we need to say to receive power? It should be receiving energy already, although I think... No, that should be working. Okay, so I think the reason why this isn't working is because we went ahead and took this here. So I think the Tesseract is only actually receiving power from this. So without this, I think it's not working. That should be working again. So the Tesseract should now be getting power and hopefully sending it through to the autonomous activator over in the Nether. There's only one way to find out. Okay, I cannot figure out for the life of me why that Tesseract isn't working, so I'm going to go ahead and try this. We're going to put a new Tesseract down. We're going to call it Isaac Backup Power, like that. Frequency could be 21, sure. We'll say to ignore redstone. We want it to send power only. And now if we go and set our other Tesseract in the Nether to 21, the autonomous activator should... Get out of here. I don't have time for the likes of you. Our autonomous activator should start to get power. It really should. Okay, for some reason that works, but the other one didn't. Anyway, this is now getting power. It should now be ready to actually start jabbing these guys. You'll see it is flickering there at the front. And if we do get close enough, we do get jabbed by it. It does no damage to us because we've got, like, super health, but we'll throw that back down. Oh, that's going to go ahead and break that. That's fine. That's fine. As long as we're in this spot, that should be okay. We'll go ahead and throw down the skeleton into there, and that should start to spawn both normal skeletons and wither skeletons. We'll throw the vacuum hopper down, actually right here in the floor. If we can quite get there. See, wither skeleton. Oh, there we go. And I'm not going to fight you at all. That should make a wither skeleton, which should all of its stuff. Look at that, we got coal. We'll go ahead and we'll set that to export to the left. Like that. And that should so now all the stuff is being exported into the Tesseract. And now, if we were to go back to the overworld, this should actually send things through. So we'll set up like a chest in the overworld. We'll probably actually set up some form of ME interface, which will allow stuff to go from the Tesseract right into the ME network. And then we'll probably set up another export bus onto the steam boiler for coal as well as charcoal. So if it runs out of charcoal, it'll start using coal and vice versa. We are going to have to go ahead and throw a chunk loader down in the Nether to make sure that thing's always running. This guy needs to get out of here. We need to get some sort of real sword, because as of right now, we are using pickaxes and drills to kill all these guys, which is not what I want to be doing. Let's get a interface, which we don't have. Let's see if we can make an interface, which we probably can. Oh, we're so close. So close. What are we missing? We're missing some fluix dust. That should be fairly easily. Do we have any fluix crystals? We do not. Do we have any quartz? We do. Do we have redstone? We do. And do we have charged Certus quartz? That is another question. Redstone, we'll take some of that. Charged Certus quartz, we'll take one. Should be actually more than enough. You, and you. We should really automate this in some way so we can just request that these be crafted instead of having to do it ourselves. But for now, we'll just go ahead and pulverize that in the SeNtiMeL because the pulverizer is busy. Thank you very much. We can throw that back in like so. Get ourselves the annihilation cores. Get ourselves an interface. I'm going to go ahead and make it into one of the nice smaller interfaces. This does the exact same thing, by the way, as a normal interface. It's just a bit smaller. And then, actually, it takes up the same block space, but it just looks a bit smaller, if that makes any sense whatsoever. And then we should just be able to set this up wherever we want. Now, where do I want to put this? We're going to have to, like, drag cables along if we do it this way, which I think for now, ME glass fiber fluix cables, I think for now we'll be fine. For now, we'll just do something like this. We'll go across here and then kind of like, I'm going to move this to the other side. Like that. And then again, set to 21, send energy, yep. And we'll say we're set to receive items, like that. And then we'll basically stick the import bus on the side that should, the interface, that should start to receive items, possibly? Do we need to actually physically extract them into the interface? We might. Do we have a node? No, we might do. Yeah, we do. Okay, transfer node for items. Let's see if this works. It doesn't. Now, the reason for that might be because we don't have a chunk loader over in the nether. So, let's real quick try and get back up to the first floor using our elevators there. Let's see. I think we should have what it takes to make a chunk loader. It's just an enchantment table, which we can almost make if we can make a book, which I think we should be able to make if we get ourselves some of these blank patterns, like so. Get ourselves a book, get ourselves an enchantment table, and get ourselves a chunk loader. And I think I've mentioned these before. We have one in the beekeeping area right now. Basically what this does, it allows things to continue to run while we're either A, not in the dimension, or B, not on the server, which is really useful for things like the B1 over there, because it allows all the bee stuff to keep running while we're not on. And if we go ahead and throw one down right about like here, we'll set it to like 3-4 chunks. If you click show lasers, you can show what area is going to keep loaded. This is going to keep more than enough loaded for now, so that's fine. We can actually probably bring it down a little bit to save on lag, but that should be pretty good doing stuff there. And now if we head back, it should possibly send things through. Let me just quickly check that I did this right. I think I did. You can see it's kind of pointing towards the Tesseract. So that should be getting items. We do want to make sure... Oh, we want to make sure that's sending items as well. Don't want anything to do with fluids and only receiving energy. That's right. Let's turn off those lasers. Okay, so now you can see that things are actively coming through the Tesseract. So, if we go ahead and do this, they should pass through into the ME interface. And then if we do this, they should start to move straight into the ME network. Now, we might have to do something about all the stone swords that are going to come through. Hopefully, we haven't used up too many channels. We haven't. That has nicely gone blue. So, if we go ahead and take a look in here now at coal, we should see this number rise pretty much consistently, I think, I hope, maybe, kind of. We are getting coal through every so often. It's not super fast, but it is a little bit better. It will probably be even more better, if that's even a thing that I could ever be seen saying. It could be even better if we go ahead and speed up the attack speed of the cleaver. We are, though, getting quite a few wither skeleton skulls, which is also nice. So we can go ahead and get more nether stars and stuff like that, which is also cool. And I guess the last thing that I want to do here is go ahead and make myself one more export bus, which we do not have, but I think we should be able to make... if we get a piston, and we'll basically just set it to go ahead and export okay, actually, no, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll do something a little bit different. I was going to go ahead and have it export straight up coal into the steam boiler, but instead what we'll do is we'll make a crafting card from Applied Energistics, which is over here. This guy is made using a basic card, which is fairly easy to make if you happen to have this calculation processor with a crafting bench. We'll take that, and what this is going to do is we're going to grab a block of coal, like this. We're going to teach our system how to make a block of coal in here, which, do we have any blank patterns? We do. We're going to teach our system how to make a block of coal, and then we're going to put a crafting card into the export bus, which I'll show you in just a second. Let's change that to crafting. Let's do that. We're going to have to throw you into here. Now, we don't really need geothermal generators. I suppose just go ahead and make another one of these interfaces at some point in these molecular assemblers. But for now, we'll throw that in there. We'll throw the coal in. So now our system knows how to make coal. What we can do is we can stick down an export bus over here. And I'm going to put it right there. And we can tell it to export blocks of coal. Now, because we don't have any blocks of coal, if you put a crafting card in here, what it's going to do is it's going to try and craft the block of coal if we have all the stuff to make it, which we should always have because we're now getting tons of coal. So if I was to go ahead and take all these out, it's going to try and craft it's going to start by bringing some charcoal in because it's doing it. But it should also craft a block of charcoal and bring it in. If we look in here and click up here, we should see blocks of charcoal come through. Oh, of course. That's nope. Nope. Right idea. Wrong place. It needs to go down here. We did the same thing last time, Isaac. You did the exact same thing last time. Where did my thing go? It's there. Let's take this. Let's try that again. It needs to be over here on the firebox. We'll put you there. We'll set that to blocks of coal. We'll throw in the crafting card, which went where exactly? Throw in the crafting card, and then we should be pretty much good to go. We'll hook this up like that. That should turn blue again, hopefully. And then that should start to fill up with blocks of charcoal, and with blocks of coal if we go ahead and take out some charcoal, which we'll do right about now. We'll take that one out, and then we'll kind of stack those together. That should put a block of coal in there. There we go. Okay, now it's got a block of coal in. Lovely, 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 lovely. We'll put one in there as well, actually, and that's just going to run out instantly. It shouldn't run out that fast, and it should actually start to fill that up. 3? It should go ahead and craft them continuously. There we go, 3. So that's going to go ahead and pretty much use up all our coal until it runs out, and then use charcoal, which we're going to go ahead and fill up over there. But with that, guys, that should be good. That should be good for at least the time being. I'm hoping that will be good enough to keep this thing running for quite a while now. There's that crafting card that we made. I went ahead and made another one because I thought I'd lost that one, but we can always have that for backup in the future. And with that, I'm going to end the episode there. It is episode 40, which means there will be a world download link in the description. Our AE system is full, so the first thing you're probably going to have to do as soon as you get the world download is go ahead and make some more discs. Also, by the way, for those who are wondering, because I have complaints about this every time, the security terminal over here, let me just get rid of all this stuff that I have on me. All of that, and even the flying ring. Let's take you off and throw that in there as well. So you can access all of my stuff from this chest. And the security terminal over here will stop you accessing my AE system. So I'm going to get rid of it. You should now be able to open my AE system. Although, bear in mind, the wireless access terminal... I don't have my armor on me. Wow. Wow, okay, wow. My wireless access terminal won't work until you put the security terminal back down and enable it again. So, can I even get out of here yet? I can't even get out of here, wow. This was like the world's biggest derp ever. We're wasting straight up stone brick right here. There we go. Okay, do we have any more? Please tell me we have some more. We do, nice. Okay, right, let's throw this back down. There we go. There we go. That looks a bit nicer. Okay, with that, guys, I'm going to end the episode there. Thanks for watching. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to like. It helps out a ton, and I will see you guys next time.